Well, I remember when Harold, he loved the Tiger Cats because he caused trouble in Toronto. Here you are with the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Well, he owned the Tiger Cats and he owned the Leafs.
And he'd always...
How did he miss out on the Argonauts? You think it would make more sense that he owned the Argonauts rather than with Hamilton.
And he used to bring in logos of... I think he even put it on... I think he even put the logo on the ice.
Well, that was the time there was a logo on... There's a whole story. The logo was on the ice, and we were kind of looking, and because I was there, I went there, and I think Harry Sinden's nephew was with us.
Yeah.
And we were on the ice, and we're looking, and like I didn't really know what... I said, why would they have a tiger on logo? And then they said, well, that's a Tiger Cats. So they said, well, the Toronto fans were really upset that Ballard...
Yeah, he did just upset...
Just irritant.
So he was upset. The Toronto fans were upset that he put the Tiger Cat logo in the Toronto Maple Leaf Gardens in the heart of where the Argos were. So Frosty Forrestal said, I got an idea. So he left and he went down the street, and there was like one of those souvenir shops, and he got two great big Toronto Argonaut flags, and he taped them together. And so you guys hatched a plan that when the national anthem started, me and I think again it was Harry Sinden's nephew were going to
get a picture of it.
We were going to go in front of the bench, and then we were going to lower the banner of the Argos.
Lower the banner over the bench so it was on
cheered.
TV and everything.
Right. So we did it, and all of a sudden you could kind of hear a little bit of a murmur of what was, and then all of a sudden everybody started to applaud. They were whistling, clapping, and
I thought Harold would like it. But he didn't.
No, you said he really got upset, eh?
Yeah, he was upset with the Boston Bruins.
And he asked if it was premeditated.
Yeah, I couldn't understand. I said, no, we always carry a flag. But I couldn't understand him being mad. I thought it was a joke. It was we were having fun.
You know what else I remember about that? That used to be my Christmas and birthday gift. Was I usually would go up to Toronto for a game, right? And stand behind the bench, and I would skate. And I remember Bobby Orr, so it must have been the first year because Bobby was there. And I remember every time we were fooling around, he touched the puck, the ushers would boo.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
And when we in a morning skate.
In a morning skate.
And a lot of people think, that's right. A lot of people think that, he went along with the joke. He didn't. He did not like that. He's from Parry Sound. They do Gretzky too. They booed Gretzky too.
But it was kind of a joke, but it was kind of mean, and there was like about 10 ushers there.
No, it was one usher who was really.
But they were really kind, and it was.
They were just joking.
But it was getting kind of irritating.
And I skated beside him, and he was not.
Well, I remember what you yelled at the ushers.
No.
You said, "What are you doing? Go pop some popcorn."
Or something like that.
And then they saw that you guys got mad, and then they
stopped. They were just kidding. I mean, I didn't get mad. I get mad because he got mad.
Yeah.
And Sidney talking about,
Well, you said the one time too he brought a tiger on the ice.
He did on the morning.
A live tiger out on the ice.
He did. To get pictures taken and everything like that.
Oh, dear.
And I remember a guy walking behind it, and boy, talk about peeing.
Well, Tim, you know all about about when you used to work at the Ontario place down there when they used to have. Was it an Ontario place with the Lions?
Yeah, I worked it would have been around 1983 or 84. I worked at Ontario Place Forum down at the Ontario Place.
I went down to watch it one couple of times.
Right. It was like
Hooked on Classics.
It was like a small amphitheater. It held about 5,000 people.
It's empty now. It's all empty. The Ontario Place is sitting there just empty. They don't know what to do with it.
I went down to see Tim change the lights and everything. Isn't that something? That my son changed the lights.
Yeah.
And it was Hooked on Classics.
Hooked on Classics. That was there was nobody there, but that was a good show.
Yeah,
So it was really kind of, it was about 5,000 people. It was an amphitheater. You didn't pay
any. In the grass, eh?
It was like about 1,000, maybe 1,500 seats, and then you could sit in the grass, and it was out in the open.
It was up in the hills, and like to get it was like $4.50 to go to the to hear the bands play.
Yeah, it was
$3 night. It was like nothing.
Yeah, he did it just to give to the people.
Yeah, so it was really good. And then when it
was beautiful. I don't like to interrupt. But it was beautiful. You sit in the grass, and the moon was out, and
they had really good artists. Like I worked when I was there. They had Neil Sedaka and.
Well, didn't you go down there, Dad, to see Shania Twain?
No,
that was now that they have the Budweiser amphitheater.
Oh, that's
that's
when
what
it was big time stuff. Okay.
So and but they Johnny Cash, I remember him. He was.
I went to see Elton John too. He was good. I know me.
I saw Gino Vanelli there. I saw Three Dog Night.
Gino Vanelli. He sang "Too Late." Was it with that
Black Cars.
Black Car?
Black Cars, yeah.
But he "Too Late" now. Didn't he sing that? I don't know. He was good, Gino Vanelli. What's he doing now?
I don't know. All those guys kind of that was a long time ago. So anyway, during the exhibition, they had a circus, and they had a lion tamer at the circus, and these lions were. They had, I think, like 6 female lions and 1 male lion, right?
You don't have that now, do they?
No, we don't have that, and we don't promote that, and we know that is very politically incorrect to have all this right now.
So I remember, just get off on a tangent, we were sitting there killing time, and the lionesses were in 2 cages, and there was about 6 or 7 or whatever, and we were eating ice cream, and these lionesses were staring at us eating this ice cream. So one of the guys goes, they look like they want some ice cream. And so one guy goes, well, I dare you to go up and give you it. So yeah, okay. So they went up and they started to lick the ice cream. So we all went up and were giving them ice cream. And then the lion tamer came and he started yelling at us and all that. It was awful because they were so tame. And just before they'd go out, he'd get a stick and he'd poke them. He'd get them all riled up. So anyway,
and that's why we don't have lions in circuses anymore.
And so what happened was that it was the end of the day, and we had to take the lions back into the behind this building at Ontario Place, and they had a bigger cage that they could walk around in. So there was one guy that nobody liked down there. He was kind of a wise ass. So we were all pushing the cages. So I got behind the one cage of the lion, like the male lion. And the guy goes, the lion tamer goes, no, he goes, Tim, you help push the girl lions. He says, and you go help help me push this male lion. So the guy got behind and he got, put his arms, got right behind the thing and started to push. And the lion looked up and looked back and saw him and stood up and started to pee on him.
Unbelievable.
It was. And just like, it was like a stream, and he was screaming. And like you get that thing, you freeze, right? Like normally you think you'd run, but he just froze. He just got soaked. and so we all laughed and said, well, how many people get peed on by a lion and live to tell about it, right? But then I'll tell you another quick story. When I was there, where this was going on, they had a baby elephant, and the elephant was not trained very well. And the lion tamer, who was an animal trainer, didn't like the guy that had this baby elephant. And the elephant was kind of doing his little thing, and it was kind of like a round stage, and then there was like a hallway that led to like the dressing rooms and stuff. And I was standing there, and a balloon popped and scared the elephant, and the elephant ran back down underneath the stage, and I was there, and his ear slapped me as he ran by. And I was talking to one of the older ladies that was in the circus, and she was there, and she started to cry. And I said, oh, no. I said, it didn't hurt me. And she says, you don't know how many deaths and tragic stuff I've seen with elephants going crazy. And she says, you're lucky. She says, if you were 6 inches over, she says, that would have been the end of you. And
even the baby one?
Yeah, it wasn't very big. Like it was, it was maybe, I don't know how tall.
Like all elephants are big.
Yeah, he was big enough that he would
have caused damage.
Oh, he would have killed me.
Well, this is the thing. People think the animals, they look tame and docile and all. And do you remember your public relations guy, John Denhammer, that you had in Rochester?
Yeah, I remember.
And I remember his son in the 70s, Jay, was the night watchman at the Seneca Park Zoo in Rochester. And I used to work there too. And he would be the night watchman, and he'd tell everyone, and I worked there too, that he used to pet the tiger at night. And we all said, Jay, you shouldn't do that. He looks docile. You shouldn't do that. And one morning I was going into work, and it was on the news that a zookeeper, which is one of ours, because I was one of them, got mauled by a tiger. And we knew it was Jay. And he had his arm all thing, and can you imagine? This is the thing. This is what happened. And
you when I remember you got in trouble, not in trouble, but you
worked at the zoo.
Well, I worked at the zoo, and you have to remember it was the 70s, where zoos aren't like what they are now.
Toronto Zoo, where they run.
Well, they were like they were animal jails is what they were. They were awful. And I remember and I had to work, I worked in every section but the monkey section. They wouldn't let me because then
come?
you were, well, you really, really, really have to have your smarts when you work in the monkey section because they're just waiting for you to slip up and they're going to take advantage of you. And I was only 16. It was only a summer job. Like I was feeding the cats one day and I was up at the real tall in the catwalk and I had to throw in like a 10, 15 pound of meat into the black leopards. And when I went to pull up the cage, I went to throw it in and it dropped because it had oil on it for vitamins. And the cat jumped up and was clawing at this piece of meat to get it. And my feet were right there. I mean, he could have easily have grabbed my leg. And this is the thing. And I ended up,
job?
Yeah, well, the stuff that I used to do on summer jobs that you and Mom had no idea. I mean, I was in constant danger at that zoo. I'm sure things, it's unionized now that would never happen, but I was always, the things I got were really scary. Every day there was something that I could have got really injured.
I remember you telling me about, or you're telling your mother, you wouldn't tell me about something that really scares you, that you were really scared.
Well, the wild buffalo, they were Cape buffalo, and we were supposed to put them in the big...
I guess the Cape buffalo killed more people than anybody in Africa.
Yeah, that's what I hear. They're very dangerous, and you see the horns, and we had a big shed for them to be in, so you put them out in the big yard, and you have to go in and clean the shed. So I figured, I didn't really do a count that good, and so I walked into the shed, opened up the big, huge door, and I'm going to clean it, and I hear this... and one of the buffalo are still in the shed. And I don't know many people have ever, they really do freeze from fright. Like you just don't know what to do. And I just said, well, I better get out of there fast. And
I bet you counted the buffalo after that.
Oh, I counted them after that. And then to even get that buffalo out of there to clean it, it was unbelievable. It was really very scary.
And how did you get that job? I got that job for you?
You get that job. I always wanted to work with animals. So I was 16 and I had all those type of jobs.
Yeah,
work
great.
at the racetrack. You got me the job at the racetrack.
Oh,
in
yeah,
the
we
summer.
must get into that with Jerry Cheever sometime.
Yeah. So
Well, you got to tell your famous story about your encounter with a wild animal in the boat on Wolf Island.
Oh, that was... let me think. I was so stupid. I'm one of those guys, I'll put the boat away. And I'll never forget, it was November 23rd.
November. We still haven't put the boat up in the cottage.
That's how stupid I was going to let you know. And I get in it. I know this is no kidding. And I'm sitting in it, and I started up and everything, and there's a great big muskrat. His teeth was going. I said, what am I going to do? So I just froze again,
Yeah.
I said, if he goes underneath where the outboard motor was, I said, I'm leaving the boat for the winter. And he jumped up and got out. So I never forgot that. And that now that you brought it up, we'll end on that one. So now it's November 23rd, and there's a snowstorm. I get out and start off not bad. Snowstorm hits in the middle of November.
So you got to bring the boat all the way around Wolf Island.
I have to bring it all the way up and bring it up.
On the St. Lawrence.
Yeah,
This is where you have to realize, folks, Wolf Island is where the Lake Ontario and St. Lawrence meet. And you've got to drive the boat all the way around.
Like a fool, November 23rd. I never forgot it. I marked it down, November muskrat. I think it might have been a beaver, whatever it was. So now it's November 23rd. I'm out in the middle, and it is unbelievable. I can't see. So I stand up. I figure I can see. Cannot see. I can't see 2 feet in front of me. If I keep going, I don't know where.
You could go out on Lake Ontario.
I don't know where I could go. I had no idea. I said, well, I have to make a choice. I'll turn left. And sure enough, I turned left. I figured it might. And by God, if I don't hit, I almost hit the shoreline. And I followed the shoreline back to where I was supposed to.
So you had to go to Marysville.
Yeah, I had to go to Marysville, and I couldn't. I followed it back to the cottage, and left it for another couple of days before I took it out. But November 23rd, I never forgot that. First of all, I got terrified of this monster muskrat, and then I almost got drowned. Well, I didn't know where I was going. What an awful feeling that is, boy. I'll tell you one thing, boy. When you get lost in a snowstorm and you're in a boat, it's not pretty.